Intro, hook. So, you just got a positive pregnancy test? First of all, congratulations. I'm sure your head is spinning with a million emotions, excitement, a little disbelief, and probably a big dose of, okay, what do I do now? Well, you've come to the right place. At 4 weeks pregnant, you're officially in your first month. It's wild to think, but your baby is currently the size of a poppy seed and has just moved into its new home for the next 36 weeks or so. Let's talk about everything happening during this amazing first chapter, from your baby's mind-blowing development to the changes you might be feeling in your own body. Section 1. Your baby's incredible development. Even though you can't see a thing, there's a whole universe of activity happening inside you. That tiny ball of cells, known as a blastocyst, has finished its journey down the fallopian tube and has begun snuggling into the nutrient-rich lining of your uterus. This process, called implantation, is a huge milestone in your pregnancy. Once it's settled in, this poppy seed-sized embryo gets right to work, dividing into 3 distinct layers. Think of these as the fundamental building blocks for your baby. The outer layer, the ectoderm, will eventually become your baby's brain, nervous system, skin, and hair. The middle layer, the mesoderm, is the blueprint for their skeleton, muscles, and that all-important heart and circulatory system. And the inner layer, the endoderm, is set to form the digestive system, lungs, and other organs. And if that wasn't enough, other critical support systems are already starting to form. The placenta, the incredible organ that will act as your baby's lifeline for the whole pregnancy, is beginning to develop. The amniotic sac, which will cushion and protect your little one, is also taking shape. All of this is happening when your baby is still practically microscopic. It's pretty amazing, right? Section 2. Your body's changes and common symptoms. Okay, let's shift gears and talk about you. As your body starts cranking out more of the pregnancy hormone, HCG, that's the stuff that made your pregnancy test light up, you might start noticing some early signs of pregnancy. One of the first things you might see is implantation bleeding, which usually just looks like light spotting. It happens when the embryo burrows into your uterine wall and is very easily mistaken for a light period. You might also feel some mild cramping, a bit like your period is about to start. Are you suddenly feeling like you could sleep for a week? That's fatigue, and it's another classic sign. It takes a ton of energy to grow a human, and as your hormone levels, especially progesterone, begin to climb, feeling exhausted is completely normal. Your breasts might also feel tender or tingly as they get the memo to start preparing for their future job. Now, it's also really important to say this: if you don't feel a single thing, that is also perfectly normal. Every pregnancy is different, and some women have 0 symptoms at 4 weeks. So whether you are feeling all the things or none of them, trust that your body is hard at work. CTA section. I would love to build a real community here, so I want to hear from you. What are you experiencing right now? Did you have any sneaky early symptoms that tipped you off? Let me know in the comments. Sharing our stories can be so incredibly reassuring. Section 3. Your to-do list for week 4. That, what now? Feeling is totally understandable, so let's make a simple to-do list to help you feel a little more in control. First, if you haven't already, confirm your pregnancy. Most home tests are super reliable by the time you've missed your period, since your HCG levels should be high enough to be detected. Second, and this one's a biggie, start taking a prenatal vitamin. The most critical nutrient right now is folic acid. The standard recommendation is to take at least 400 micrograms daily, as it's absolutely vital for preventing birth defects in the brain and spine, which develop incredibly early. Third, call your doctor or a midwife to get your first prenatal appointment on the calendar. Most providers will want to see you for the first time around week 8, though this can vary, but it feels great to have it booked. And finally, take a look at your daily habits. This is the perfect time to quit things like smoking or drinking alcohol, which can be harmful to your baby's development. Focus on eating nourishing foods, getting as much rest as you can, and just being gentle with yourself. You are at the very beginning of a huge journey. Conclusion: Week 4 is a quiet but truly monumental chapter in your pregnancy story. An incredible, unseen miracle is unfolding as the very foundations of your baby's life are being laid. Remember to listen to your body, rest when you feel the need to, and never hesitate to call your healthcare provider if you have any concerns, especially if you experience heavy bleeding or severe pain. Thank you so much for joining me for your 4-week update. If this was helpful, please subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss next week's video. We'll be diving into everything happening at 5 weeks. Take care, and I'll see you then.